Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my garden. Today is the big day that we get to finally start planting out annuals. So today I want to get my window boxes done by the garage. I have two of them. They're the Crescent Garden containers that were sent to us last year, and I'm so excited. This will be the first full season of summer that we're going to get to try them out to see how long they last during all the heat. And then we're also going to be able to do a continuous fertilizer inside the container with the water so that I don't even have to worry about doing all of that. So we'll show you that as well. But let's go over the fun plants that I'm putting in the container this year. So here is the assortment of plants we're going in with today. This is inspired by a Proven Winners combo that they had listed on their website. I was a little needless to say, uninspired over winter, so I got on there just to see what all was exciting and any new ideas. So we're going to be going in with Virtuoso Vibrant Violet Dahlia. This is going to get, what is that, 15 to 18 inches tall, and these get about 12 to 18 inches wide. We have Chocolate Drop Coleus. So this, Chocolate Drop Color Blaze Coleus. These will get about 14 to 20 inches long, it's saying. 14 to 20 inches high, 18 inches wide spacing. I have had these before and they get massive. Then we're going in with the new heliotrope for this year. Beg my pardon, Aromagica Purple. This is going to get 18 to 30 inches tall and about 20 inches wide. I've got 6 of those because I've never really had good luck with heliotrope, but they smell absolutely amazing. I really like the idea of using these, but you're going to have to deadhead these in order for them to continuously bloom. So I might be complaining about this in a short time. The other one is a new for this year, Totally Tempted Watermelon Wine. This is a Kufia that I've tried out from Ball before, but this is the Proven Winners version, and it is like a lipstick red color. It's really, really pretty, and it has these purple embellishments in it. So this one's going to get 8 to 16 inches tall and about 12 to 18 inches wide. So we've got 4 of those. So 4, 6, 4, 2 of these. And then the last one is the sweet potato vine, which is called Solar Power Black. I've been using this one for years. It's a great clumper. There's 3 starts in each one of these. So I figured out how many potato vines I needed, and I just bought the amount, and then I'm planning to separate these. So I'll have one left over out of this container, and that will go into another container. I've also got my potting soil here and a drink. This is Organic Mechanics Container Blend Potting Soil, just in case I need to top that off. And then my slow release, since these are not that demanding of plants, is just some Miracle Grow Shake and Feed, which is a 10-10-10, so all-purpose feed. And then here are our window boxes. I really want new windows for our garage, but that's an expense I'm just not ready to handle. But these are the True Drop containers from Crescent Gardens. We've had these, this will be our first full season with these. We got these late in the season last year, and I was able to do an amazing fall display. I will pop a picture up on the screen if I can find it. But now I am so excited to get these planted up with our new annuals for this year and see how fabulous this display is. And if you caught a peek of what these are Geum Mai Tais. Well, a Geum called Mai Tai. It is a beautiful plant, very floriferous. I started out with like 5 plants, and I have been dividing them almost every year. And I've been able to flank my pathways in them continuously, and I'm gonna divide them up and use them out front as well this year. But they are absolutely beautiful, and I have about 13 or 14 varieties of geums in my garden now. So once we are done planting up our window box, we're gonna go on a little Geum tour. All right, so I've got myself strategically placed in my garden here, so I'm not stepping around too much. This is just some clumps from the old planting mix, but otherwise our soil's really good, and that's because I went with organic mechanics. This is a slower to break down potting soil, which is really, really nice. You get several years out of it. And I'm just giving it a quick stir. I'm gonna take out any of these whirlybirds that I find, because we are still having them pop up. And then really all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here with my slow release. Nice generous helping. And then I'm just gonna mix it in a little bit right there at the surface, so the plants have it available to them now while we're waiting for them to start being able to soak up the water. All right. So again, this is Aromagica. I think I said it right that time. And placing these to the back. So we're gonna do 3 across, and then 3 in the other window box as well. Okay, next up is gonna be our Kufia. So this is Totally Tempted Watermelon Wine. And we're gonna plant those. How do we wanna do this? Yeah, we'll go here. And we'll go here. This one's a little sad. I think it missed getting a watering, but luckily that won't be an issue now. Okay. Next is going to be our Virtuoso Dahlia, which is Virtuoso Vibrant Violet. And how big was this one supposed to get again? 15 to 18 inches, so comparable in height to our Kufia here. So I'm going to place those on either end. Now, from my understanding, these dahlias do not produce a tuber. They're concentrated more for floriferous blooming abilities versus the traditional ones that, say, like Impatient Gardener grows. These ones are just bred more for like container type of stuff and bedding versus being a collector cut flower type of plant. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with our chocolate drop coleus. We're only gonna do 1 of these. And I think we're gonna alternate here. Since this section gets just a bit more shade during the day, I'm gonna go in with the coleus here. Even though this can handle both sun or shade. So we have a little bit of variegation there. And then right here, I'm gonna go in with our sweet potato vine. So if you are trying to be mindful of your spending this year, I know a lot of things have gotten so expensive and annuals might not be in your budget. One really great thing about sweet potato vine is they root so easily from cuttings. So if you get some scraggly ones and you're like, I need another container, take a cutting, stick it in water. You'll have roots in literally just a few days starting to pop out, and you can plant that in a container and have a whole new container for free. All right, so that's that. We're gonna move over to the other one. I do like to leave a round of tags in here. 1, so I remember what I planted, and 2, to see if I really liked the container planting itself at the end of the season. So I'm just going to tuck that one back here, and then we're going to replicate it, but on the reverse in this container. All right, so the next part is we're gonna go in and we're gonna add our slow release fertilizer. Now I'm gonna post the stats on this container up on the screen for you. This is the Crescent Gardens slat container, and it is 4 foot long version, and it holds 8 gallons of water. So now to do this correctly by adding your fertilizer in, you want to go half the strength, because this is going to be continuous feed and you're not flushing out your fertilizer through watering. This could burn your plant's roots if you don't do this. So I'm going to need a funnel. All right, for the life of me, I can't find any funnels, so I have to go old school and make one. So like I said, we're just doing 4 scoops in each of them. If you're wondering what fertilizer I'm using, no, it is not Jack's. It's actually a used container of Jack's, and I ended up getting Miracle Grow on clearance at the end of the season last year of Bloom Boost and the regular, and I just mixed them together and threw them in the container because this is easier to carry stuff around it, carry it around than their big square ones. So the last thing we're gonna do is fill it up and through where we just placed our fertilizer and wait for our blue tabs to pop up that we are completely full and ready for the season. All right, so you can see they're completely full. You'll have your outer ring pop up, that's halfway full, and then the center ring pops up, and that means it's full. So when you need to start when you start paying attention to the watering, that center will go down first. That means you're halfway, and this will go down, and it means you're empty, and it's time to fill it back up. So it's up to you if you want to do the continuous release. I'm excited for this because I am terrible about watering terrible at fertilizing and watering on a consistent schedule. All right, so here soon we'll circle back and take a look at how this is filling out and if the fertilizer in the container is better than doing it yourself, but I'm really happy with how it looks. So let's go on our little GM tour. Okay, so we're gonna start in the backyard because that's where most of my collection is, if not all of the collection. Yeah, I don't have any in the front yard, and we're gonna change that this year because I'm gonna divide a lot of them and move some of them up front. So I have that ongoing color and continuity within the garden. So this is our native Geum here, and it is called Prairie Smoke. Get the camera to focus for you. And what's really interesting is it's supposed to be quite a spreader, but I've had this now for 3 or 4 years, and it actually has not spread. What it'll do is as the pods open, you get these beautiful little pods of smoke, and these are actually the seeds. This is how the seed is dispersed by this. So it's like a bunch of little hairs popping out of it, and that's how it got its name. You can see some more over here if the camera will focus for us. And they're pink as well, but they're such a beautiful plant, and they've got this really serrated foliage that really brings some great texture when they are out of bloom. So according to Roy, who has talked about this in some of his books, he says this is a plant you should add after 3 years when the planting is established. My cat is near me. That has not been an issue for me. I don't know why it won't move, but I have not had a single seedling. The only seedlings I get are a bunch of Midnight Masquerade ones, which I'll be plucking out soon. But right next to it, I did plant this beautiful variety called Cosmopolitan. Now this is a variety introduced by Brent Horvath of Intrinsic Perennials, and he has an entire cocktail series of Geums, and I've been collecting a lot of them. There's only one that just will not stick for me, and that's Tequila Sunrise, so I won't be able to show you that today. But as the buds are forming and starting to open up, they come out this like buttery, kind of soft yellow and start getting peach undertones. And as they age and get, at their prime, they get this beautiful pink color with the peach undertones on the back. And then as the flower fades, it starts doing the reverse on it. And then you'll be left with these cute little seed heads, which were still in their prime, so I don't have any of that to show you, but they're easy to clean up. You just go through and you deadhead them. And then see how big these plants were? I just planted these last year as plants no bigger than that, and we're gonna be able to divide these and get so many more. It's just like geraniums, and I'll show you in another video. But let me introduce you to another cocktail series. So we have 3 over here in the long border, and this one is called TopShelf Margarita. It is a yellow variety. Bright, cheery yellow with a little red in the center. As it's opened, this will not focus for me. You can see that there. Very sunny, or the cocktail series is all introduced by him. So all of these are really durable plants. This one has not been excessively aggressive for me, but this was one plant that I did divide down. Harry. Now this is one plant that I did divide down just last year, so it's gonna need a little bit of time to bulk up apparently, but so far I like it. And then we're gonna move down this way to another one of his introductions. This one's called Seabbze. This is a much larger flowering variety, bright neon orange. I know some people can be turned off by that, but look how it sets off from that ajuga and how good the contrast is. Here is an idea of what spent blooms look like on these. They leave their little puffy centers and they're super adorable. But again, easy to clean up. This was 2 plants last year, divided it, and now I have a bunch more. So we'll let this one go for 1 more year before we divide that. This is the culprit of the video. All right, moving down, we've gotten some annuals planted out in the bare spots and have removed a few other things. But this is a series that has gotten more and more popular with a lot of garden centers, and this is the Tempo series. This is introduced by Terra Nova Nurseries, and this is Tempo Coral. This was introduced to them last year. Was introduced by them last year. A part of the other colors that they have, which I have all of them now, they are absolutely beautiful, very vigorous. I brought home 4 plants, something like that, divided them up, and boom, I have this beautiful drift. I'm telling you, geums are so easy to take care of and such a beautiful plant to put in between other plants. They're blooming when most things aren't blooming. And now I'm seeing this. I have no clue who this is. But look at that. A little bit of variegation on the leaf, nothing down here, no tag. So where did this plant come from? Interesting. All right, we've got a couple more. This one's just coming into bloom. This is another new one for me this year. Look at that. A little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, just coming in. This is Geum Alabama Slammer, another part of the cocktail series. Very big already. This was planted out as just a gallon size last year that was barely filling the pot. So we'll be able to dig this one up, divide it as well, and fill it in this area. Right now I have it paired with Caramel Heuchera, Roseanne Geranium. We've got our Paisley Putt back here. There's a number of things. And then our Cotton Ball Thalictrum is coming into bloom as well. Gumball. Cotton candy. It's the new one from Proven Winners. I'm really ecstatic about it. It's very vigorous. It's very beautiful. And you can see some blooms, but we're on a GM roll right now. And the next one is tucked back here and needs to get moved. So this is another one from the Tempo series. This is Tempo Rose, much softer, antique-y colors, has a little bit of like this light pink edging. Such a sweet little flower, just as vigorous as the other ones in the Tempo series. This one is kind of tucked in. This bed actually used to come through here and verge off, so it was right at the edge, but you can see now it is tucked in too far in, so once we're done blooming, we'll dig that one up, divide it as well, and bring it to the forefront so we can enjoy those beautiful blooms. So this is a variety that's much taller. This one I acquired at Northwind Perennial Farm a few years ago, and Roy said that this is the only variety that he could get stuck to last for a very long time, and it is named Mrs. Something. I want to say Wilmont, but I believe that's a Potentilla's name. But it's a very floriferous, very airy, nice, great see-through plant. Very large blooms. Really been impressed with it. So much so that I've been able to divide it and put it in many areas right here. This one's getting about 24 to 30 inches tall, so if you're looking for that. But you can see just how big these are, and it's absolutely amazing next to our little pond, which we'll be reworking. We have some new ideas in our head that we've been discussing all through winter, and we're looking to do a bigger and better looking pond. But over here across the way is Geum Tempo Orange. This is another one of the Tempo series, so you know it's really, really good. This one was the first introduction by Terra Nova, so you can see it comes out a much softer orange, and then as the flowers fade, they look so antique, and then you just want to touch the little puffball centers, but they're really such a beautiful, beautiful plant. So durable, so easygoing, nice bright green foliage that's fresh next to the salvia over here. So it's a nice little pop. And I've got a couple of them going down this way in this border, which will then be covered in Peter Cottontail Yarrow very, very soon. But I love the color of the GM, picking up a little bit of orange tinge that's still left in our matcha ball false ash leaf spireas that we have in this area as well. All right, we got a couple more to go view. So mixed into this border is Tempo Yellow, and this is a very, very happy 2 clumps that will be getting divided out this year as well. And you can see how beautiful they age. It just has that beautiful antique look to it, even in any stage of its bloom time. And I've got it next here to some purple lupines, so those will be blooming here well, those are blooming right now. And there's a mix of other perennials like sea holly as well, and ornamental alliums. And then I did plant out some of this honeywort that doesn't look too hot, but we'll bring in some color in here as well. Oh, there's a Gara. But these are such fantastic plants, and you can't go wrong with any color. We're gonna move right around here. Take a peek at that, a Gothic rose called Black Baccara. Can't wait to get that planted. There's one struggling plant right here, and this is Petticoat Peach. Now, I've had this for a few years, and sadly in my garden, it's not real happy. It continues to dwindle little by little, and I've never really got it situated into a spot that it really, really likes. And it doesn't even like being on camera, but this one was introduced by Terra Nova. I know some people have had really good luck with it. In my garden, for some reason, it just does not like it, so it's gonna be a thumbs down for me. We are over here with another cocktail series. Super adorable. This one's actually not a cocktail series. This is just another one introduced by Brent Horvath of Intrinsic Perennials called Kiss Me. Super, super adorable. Just the softest yellow apricots and oranges. I love how they drift themselves in the wind. Drift. I love how they just just sway in the wind over here. I'm hoping that these ones will bulk up a little bit more this year. With Geums, this is a lot of just foliage growth for the flowers. And then once the flowers are done, you're gonna get a nice big push of more foliage that will be the actual plant. But I've got to come back and cut my species tulips back. I don't see any seed pods. Oh, I lied, here's a couple, but we'll get those cleaned up in due time. But now we've got a red one to show you. This particular beauty is called Sangria Cocktail Sangria, and he is a big boy. Such a rich red, but it's not alarming red. It may appear that way on camera, but really it's a nice dark red that really plays well in the garden at this time of the year when we're all just anxious for any color. And it's gonna look beautiful paired with that dark purple or black iris, which I'm just growing these guys out to find out which varieties they are so I can place them better in the garden. But it's a really pretty large plant, and I will be dividing this one this year because I am excited to have this one. I think this one's gonna go out in the very back border, and then some of the other ones are gonna go out front to stay with more of those other more pinks and blues that I have going on out there. So we're gonna end this video back here with Geum Mai, which started my craze for Geums a couple years ago, and I've been on the hunt for every one of them ever since I found this one. And I always look forward to all the new varieties that are going to come out. There's a few that I don't have or are really low performers for me that I've just opted to not get. There's a new one in the Tempo series called Fiesta, which I do have. I'm growing that one out from plugs right now. So thank you, Terra Nova, for bringing that one to me. But just a bit of inspiration for you, a new plant for you to try. And if you're into geraniums or just need color right now, I think this is like the next step. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like I've been collecting some geraniums and they remind me so much of Geums as well. And I just think they're like the perfect pairing because when these guys are out of bloom, their geraniums are starting to pick up and it's just continuous. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my day out by weeding this garden, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys.